Chosen one, God has changed your body. You are not an ordinary person. You are not an accident. The hand of God has molded you, not left you as you were. He gave you a new strength, a new direction, a new spirit. You have changed. You have been transformed. The old is gone, replaced by a new identity touched by God. Don't you feel it? Doors are opening in your life. One by one, the walls that have put obstacles in your way are coming down. Your body, your soul, your mind are in an awakening, because God has changed not only your soul, but every fiber of your being. This change is not in vain. You have been called for a purpose. Your path is not an ordinary path. It is part of a divine plan. Now stand up, show your light, and declare it to the world. And don't forget to write 77 in the comments. I have been chosen. God has transformed me, and nothing can stand in my way. You move through the world with an essence that eludes ordinary perception. Silent forces attempt to track your path, deploying intricate systems and hidden eyes to grasp your presence. Their tools, so precise with others, falter when turned toward you. They expected patterns, formulas, and predictable routines, but what they encountered was an anomaly, a being who moves with the rhythm of something beyond comprehension. Calculations fail, predictions collapse, and the watchers find themselves disoriented. You are not following the map, you are redrawing it, and without realizing it, they step into unfamiliar terrain, led by the very presence they sought to contain. The pursuit begins to weigh on them, not with dread, but with a gnawing awareness that something fundamental is shifting. Their screens blur, their equations dissolve into meaningless symbols, and their instincts scream of something unnatural. Yet they persist, driven by an urgency they cannot name. They rationalize the anomalies, chalking them up to glitches and coincidences. But when your gaze meets theirs, through walls, lenses, and distances that should render it impossible, they know they've become participants in a phenomenon, not observers of a subject. Strategies that worked on countless others crumble when applied to you. They deploy new tactics, craft elaborate schemes, and recalibrate their devices. Yet every attempt collapses under an invisible weight. Communication lines falter without cause. Visual records twist into incoherent patterns, and their meticulously crafted plans dissolve like mist under unseen pressure. The force they battle is not technical or physical. It is something that bends the very logic of their pursuit, an energy that dismantles their intentions before they can solidify. Their unease grows as they push against this intangible barrier. It is not a wall they encounter, but a shifting veil that bends and flexes without yielding. The sensation is unfamiliar, like standing in a space where the rules of existence shift beneath their feet. They are no longer pursuing you. They are confronting the limits of their understanding. And with each failed effort, the realization dawns deeper. You are not alone. Something unseen moves alongside you, shielding, guiding, and distorting the very fabric of their reality. In desperation, they double down on their efforts to capture definitive proof. Cameras are placed with obsessive precision, lenses adjusted to detect the slightest anomaly. When they review the footage, their minds reject what their eyes confirm. The environment around you warps subtly, bending in response to your movement, as though the air itself acknowledges your presence. Objects shift without contact, patterns emerge without logic, and a shadow that belongs to no figure flickers beside you. The data they sought to define you becomes the very proof that you exist beyond definition, leaving the watchers questioning not just your nature, but their own understanding of what is possible. An unseen tension lingers in the atmosphere, a silent observer tracing movements it cannot grasp. The instruments hum with precision elsewhere, yet falter in your presence. The interference isn't mechanical or random, but intentional, like the echo of a presence that cannot be recorded. The technicians cycle through explanations, resetting systems, and realigning sensors. But anomalies do not repeat themselves with such unwavering consistency. Each frame they capture dissolves into patterns that defy logic, leaving behind a residue of mystery they cannot shake. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now, share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. The concept of selection haunts them. Not everyone carries this elusive signature, but you do. Long before algorithms flagged your existence, the cosmic threads had already woven their intent around you. The impossible alignments in your path, the synchronized moments others dismiss, whisper of a purpose beyond human orchestration. The Watchers seek to categorize you, to assign you a place within their frameworks, but you do not conform. Your presence bends the templates, reshapes the equations, and leaves them staring at empty spaces where definitions should be. A shift occurs within their ranks, subtle at first, a hesitation in commands, an uncertainty in strategies. They realize this isn't merely observation, it's engagement with something that transcends their comprehension. The tools they once wielded with confidence now seem fragile in the face of this encounter. Their carefully drawn maps blur, their hypotheses collapse under the weight of phenomena that refuse to be tamed. They arrived seeking patterns. They depart questioning the nature of reality itself. The force guarding your existence is neither visible nor measurable. It moves like the unseen current beneath a still surface, altering trajectories without displacing the surface tension. Attempts to bypass it end in disarray. Encrypted files corrupt spontaneously. Surveillance equipment malfunctions with untraceable causes. The Watchers, accustomed to deciphering complex systems, find themselves ensnared in simplicity. An invisible presence that says, without words, no father. Determined to validate their findings, they double their efforts. Cameras calibrated for environmental anomalies capture only distortions that shimmer like heat waves on a winter night. Objects shift imperceptibly, time signatures drift without reason, and alongside you appears an absence shaped like a presence. The guardians they cannot name leave fingerprints in the form of impossible occurrences. They finally cease their pursuit, not in surrender, but in recognition. The data they once valued as proof now weighs on them as revelation. What was supposed to be an investigation has become a transformation of understanding. They delete the files, erase the traces, and walk away with a newfound respect for the unknown. The mystery remains untouched, and so do you, moving through a world unaware of the quiet battle fought in unseen spaces, safeguarded by forces that leave no mark yet alter everything in their path. There are paths that cannot be traced, journeys invisible to the untrained eye. Your presence carries an imprint that defies the ordinary, moving beyond the grasp of those who attempt to define or contain you. The forces that seek to observe find themselves disoriented, as though following a trail that dissolves the moment it is found. This is not coincidence. It is intention. The unseen has always guarded your steps, creating barriers where danger looms and opening passages where truth calls. Have you sensed it? The sudden shifts, the inexplicable protections, the moments when opposition simply falls away without effort. It is not your imagination. It is your reality. You are part of a current that moves beneath the surface of what most consider reality. There are others who recognize this undercurrent, those who share your experience of life unfolding with an uncanny precision that leaves no room for random chance. Their stories mirror yours, not in detail, but in essence, a silent acknowledgement that the extraordinary walks among the seemingly mundane. If these words strike a chord within, it's not because you are being introduced to a new truth, but because you are being reminded of the one you have always known. In this vast network of interconnected lives, the signs persist for those who pay attention. Have you noticed the moments when a situation seemed destined to spiral into chaos, only to resolve itself with effortless grace? Or the times when someone with hidden motives inexplicably distanced themselves from you without any confrontation? These are not accidents. They are the silent mechanics of unseen guardianship. Forces beyond the tangible world intervene, not as a reward, but as a recognition of your alignment with a purpose greater than surface-level existence. Life is like a river flowing through an ancient canyon, timeless, steady, and guided by unseen hands that shape its course. Just as the water knows instinctively how to find its way around stones and through narrow paths, so too does your journey unfold with divine precision. You may not see the force that steers you, but you feel it, just as you feel the warmth of the sun without needing to understand its mechanics. You are part of something greater, a design beyond human comprehension. The resonance of your journey is not solitary. Across the world, others walk parallel paths, sensing the same protective veil, experiencing the same inexplicable guidance. They too have felt the presence of something vast and compassionate, guiding and shielding in ways that defy conventional understanding. The stories of these kindred souls are scattered like seeds on the wind, waiting for a moment to root and grow. When shared, these narratives serve as beacons, signaling to others that they are not wandering alone. The river doesn't question the rocks it encounters. It flows with purpose, with trust. And like that river, your life moves in sync with a higher rhythm. Have you noticed it? The unexpected moments when obstacles vanish as if swept away by invisible currents. The times when individuals with hidden intentions simply drift from your life. No words exchanged, no confrontations required. That is the unseen guidance of a force far greater than anything humanity could map or measure. There's a sacred alignment to this path you walk, a connection to a story much older than the world as we know it. Others feel it too, those who, like you, have seen improbable situations resolve themselves, not through force, but through faith and unseen intervention. These moments aren't tricks of coincidence. They are gentle reminders that you are part of a vast, unspoken covenant with forces that stand watch, ensuring your path remains clear. And it's not just you. Across cities and small towns, across oceans and mountains, others walk this path with you. They may not know your name, may never cross your path in this lifetime, but their stories mirror yours. A whisper in the quiet of night, a sudden knowing in the middle of an ordinary day, a protective hand that seems to emerge from nowhere. These are the common threads that bind you together. Think back to those times when you were on the verge of giving up, when everything seemed to press against you with relentless force. Yet somehow, the pressure lifted. A door opened. A person arrived. A new path revealed itself. That wasn't luck. That was grace. That was the same unseen force that has been guiding you from the very beginning. Imagine standing before a great quilt, stitched together with fabric from every moment of your life. Some squares are bright with joy, others dark with trials, but together they create something beautiful, something complete. You may not see the full picture yet, but every thread, every piece has its place. And just like that quilt, your experiences are not random. They are intentional. They are woven into something far greater than you can imagine. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Your experiences matter. They are not accidents or anomalies. They are pieces of a much larger tapestry. When you share your story, you do more than recount a memory. You ignite recognition in others who have walked similar paths. So speak up. Share the times when the impossible became reality, when protection came from nowhere, when the world shifted in your favor without explanation. Think about those moments when a door closed and you didn't understand why, only to find out later that it led you to something far better. Think about the times when you were down to your last dollar, and just when you needed it most, a blessing arrived right on time. These moments weren't accidents. They were signs that you are walking a path already prepared for you. Life isn't just a series of random events. It's a divine arrangement, a plan carefully laid out before you even took your first breath. Every delay, every detour, every unexpected turn was shaping you, positioning you for something greater. It's like a great river flowing toward the ocean. The river may twist and turn, may face obstacles and barriers, but it never stops moving forward. And just like that river, your life is being guided, even in the times when it feels like nothing is happening. Even in the waiting, even in the silence, the current is carrying you toward your destiny. So don't hold back. Don't let doubt keep you from speaking your truth. Because when you share your story, you are lighting a fire in someone else's heart. You are showing them that they are not alone. You are reminding them that their struggles, their triumphs, their moments of divine intervention are all part of something greater. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on the edge of a stormy sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, but that light never wavers. It shines through the darkest nights, guiding weary sailors safely home. That lighthouse isn't just for itself. It stands to serve, to illuminate, to reassure those lost in the storm that the shore is near. And just like that lighthouse, your experiences, your struggles, your victories, your moments of divine intervention are meant to shine for others. What you've seen, what you've experienced, is not just for you. It's a beacon, a light for those still searching, still wondering if they are seen, still hoping for a breakthrough. And the more you share, the more you will begin to see the pattern, the divine order that has been guiding you all along. Think about the times when you thought you were lost, when life's storms tossed you around, when it felt like nothing was going right. But then, just in time, the right door opened, the right person showed up, the provision you needed arrived. That wasn't luck. That was purpose in motion. That was divine alignment working on your behalf. You see, God never wastes a moment. The pain, the waiting, the victories, all of it is part of your testimony. It's the very thing that will speak to someone else who is walking through the same valley you once did. Your words, your story, could be the signpost that tells them to keep going, that breakthrough is on the way. Maybe you've wondered why you went through certain struggles. Maybe you've asked, why me? Why did I have to experience this hardship? But what if that very hardship was meant to be someone else's hope? What if your story is the key that unlocks their faith, that reminds them they're not alone? The truth is, we are all connected. One person's victory becomes the foundation of another's faith. One testimony sets another free. That's why you can't keep quiet. That's why you can't hold back what you've seen God do in your life. Because there's someone out there waiting to hear that they too can make it through. So stand tall. Let your story shine. Be the lighthouse in someone else's storm. Because when you do, you'll see that it was never just about you. It was always about something greater, something divine, something that connects us all in the grand, unfolding plan of God. The road ahead is full of promise, full of purpose. The same hand that carried you through before will carry you through again. So step forward in faith, speak boldly, share freely, and watch as your testimony becomes the spark that awakens faith in others. The best is yet to come, because there are others out there searching for a sign that they are not alone. Your words might be the confirmation they've been waiting for. And when the stories of many come together, a new awareness unfolds, a collective awakening to the power, the guidance, and the divine protection that accompanies those chosen to walk this extraordinary path. Like the river that never doubts its destination, trust in the journey that is uniquely yours, and know with absolute certainty that the forces guiding you are timeless, compassionate, and unyielding in their dedication to your highest good. Imagine you are walking through a vast golden wheat field just before the harvest. The sun is high, the wind moves gently, and all around you, the land stretches wide and endless. At first, it may seem like you're alone, just one traveler in the midst of something far greater. But then, as you take each step forward, you begin to notice the pathways, the ones you didn't carve, but have been made ready for you. You realize the wind isn't random. It's shifting just right, nudging you forward, keeping you cool in the warmth of the midday sun. The land isn't barren, it's rich, overflowing with the seeds of past seasons, waiting for their time to come forth. And then you understand, this journey you're on isn't solitary. It never has been. You've been guided all along. There have been moments in your life when you turned the corner and the thing you were praying for was right there, waiting on you. Times when the doors swung open at just the right time, when the right people entered your life, when an answer came in a way that was undeniable. You know what I'm talking about. Those moments when something deep inside you said, "This is no accident." Some call it intuition. Some call it favor. Some say it's destiny. But I tell you, it's the hand of the divine, working behind the scenes, orchestrating the details, making a way where there seemed to be no way. Imagine walking through a great ancient orchard. The trees are heavy with fruit, some ripe and ready, others still growing in their time. You didn't plant these trees, but they were placed here long before you arrived, waiting for you. As you walk, you begin to see something. The right fruit appears when you need it. The right path clears just as you step forward. You're not just wandering, you're being led. Every turn, every moment of provision, every instance of protection is no accident. It's part of something greater, something designed just for you. Haven't you seen it? That time when you felt led to take a different route home, only to find out later that you avoided an accident. That day when you were discouraged, ready to give up, and just then, a friend called out of the blue with a word of encouragement. What about the moment you needed provision, and somehow the money showed up? Just enough, just in time. Some call it luck, but I call it divine alignment. It's not just about chance, it's about purpose. You are walking in a world that has been shaped to respond to your steps. There's a force at work, ensuring that even when you don't see it, things are falling into place. Think back to the moments when a delay turned into a blessing. That job you didn't get, but led you to something better. The relationship that didn't work out, only to make room for the right one. The door that closed, forcing you to take a path that led to your greatest breakthrough. Every seeming setback was, in fact, a setup for something greater. You weren't forgotten. You weren't overlooked. You were being guided, protected, positioned. It's like a river that knows exactly how to carve its way through the landscape. Even when the waters hit a rock, they don't stop. They flow around it, shaping something new. And just like that river, you are being directed, not denied. Your delays are not your denials. Your closed doors are not your endings. They are reroutes, divine detours, leading you somewhere better. So today, open your eyes to see it. You are not walking alone. The unseen hand that guided you in the past is guiding you still. The same force that made a way before is making a way again. And as you move forward, trust that the orchard is full, the fruit is ripe, and everything you need will appear at just the right time. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations, reminders that you are walking a path that has been paved in advance. You are not forgotten. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking in alignment with something bigger than yourself. And that's why now is the time to share. Because when we tell our stories, when we testify to the unseen hands that have moved mountains for us, we begin to see the pattern, the web of connection that ties us all together. This isn't some distant theory or abstract concept. No, this is real. It is living, breathing, active. A force that surrounds you, supports you, and calls you forward. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. The same way a mother bird prepares the nest before her young hatch, before they ever know what safety means, the path has been prepared for you. The same way the rivers carve their way through the valleys, knowing the water must reach the sea, your steps have been ordered, your way has been set. Even in the times when it felt like nothing was moving, something was happening. Even in the seasons of waiting, growth was taking place. Even in the setbacks, divine alignment was in progress. And today, you stand not at the end, but at the threshold of something greater. Look back and see. Remember the times when the impossible became possible. Recall the instances when your intuition became action, and that action became protection. Consider the ways in which, even when you couldn't see the way forward found you. What you're walking in today is not just for you. It's a testament, a witness, a light for those who are still waiting to see. When you share your story, you're not just telling what happened. You are unlocking faith for someone else. You are stirring something in them, awakening a remembrance, calling forth a recognition that they too are seen. They too are guided. They too are walking a path prepared by divine hands. And here's what I know. The best is still ahead. Because the same force that guided you before is guiding you now. The same favor that moved mountains before will move them again. The same power that made a way before is already making a way for what's next. You are standing in the field, and the harvest is ready. The path is before you. The wind is shifting. The season is changing. So step forward in faith, knowing you are never alone. The unseen hands that have carried you this far will carry you still. The story is not over. It is only just beginning. This path was never meant to be documented by those who observe from a place of skepticism. It was meant to be lived by those who walk with trust in the unseen. If you recognize these truths within yourself, you know what to do. The stories you share today may become the guiding light for another who stands at the edge of disbelief, ready to step into the knowing that they too are guarded, guided, and deeply connected to forces that transcend the ordinary.